All right, good morning. It's another walk with Blue. Blue's getting impatient and he's trying to eat these clumps of grass from the lawn mowing. I was walking past and I was actually looking for another berry, but then I walked past this tree and I got a bit confused because that looks like a raspberry and that looks like a blackberry. But these aren't raspberries or blackberries because those are on bushes and this is a tree. What these actually are, or more pointedly, that is a mulberry tree. These are mulberries. Now they are edible and most likely very tart. Wow, that was not a sports car, that was a transport van. Anyway, but I thought this is a very interesting tree because I do a little bit of woodworking. So it's important to talk about the fact that a mulberry tree actually has very good wood that is resistant to rot. So, there's that. It's great for woodworking projects, especially outdoor woodworking projects like raised garden beds and such. Outdoor furniture, stuff like that. The leaves, as you can see, are very large and dense and actually apparently nutritious. They're good for livestock. The shade, as you can see down here, because these leaves are broad and everything, and there's a lot of them, and they're very thickly mashed together. It's good for shade, which is also a great thing for livestock. So if you're doing agroforestry and you have livestock, this is where your animals will probably sit underneath. You could just imagine a couple of cows just pleasantly spending an afternoon down here, maybe some dogs or what have you, because the dogs will eat the mulberries. And they're also really good because, as you can see right there, that root that is sticking through the dirt right there, most of the other roots are further into the ground. But as you can see, that root right there is just chomping right through the dirt. And we have a lot of clay soil, so we actually kind of need it. Now, when these leaves fall, because there's so many of them, they also make great organic compost. So what we end up having here is a tree that is just prime for agroforestry. So plants that don't need quite so much sun, like my coffee plants, for instance, would go great underneath these because they can be managed below 6 feet. And those branches over there start at I would say about 7 or 8 feet. As you can see also, these branch off lower to the ground. So if you have climbing plants like hops, they might actually grow very well up this tree. Although I have to make sure about that because I believe hops really likes the sun, but nothing really likes the afternoon suns. So still, again, might be good. As you can see down there, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can zoom in. There are mulberries on the ground. So this would be good for, I said if I had chickens would probably love this because you're breaking up the soils, you've got bugs and worms eating leaves and berries, and therefore you have food for chickens and shade for the chickens. So this would actually be probably a really good chicken tree. As much as that sounds just a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this and you can see There are just berries, crazy amount of berries all over the place. And they're pink, kind of an off-white, and uh, dark violet. So yeah, this is really, really interesting. I've never noticed this mulberry tree. That is probably the one thing I love about Walks with Blue, is that I notice more. And Google Lens is a really great tool. I mean, I'm not a big AI person, even though I'm a data person and an IT person. I'm not a big AI person, but I do love the fact that you can do so much research with Google Lens to really learn about our physical world. I mean, just look at that. I love looking up at trees and just seeing all the branches go everywhere. And I really like, I mean, when I was a kid and I thought about climbing trees, I really, really loved tall trees for the idea that I could climb really high. But now that I'm older, I kind of appreciate a very nice tree that kind of just works really well with the environment that it's in. So yeah, mulberry trees, they're good for you, they're good for your animals, they're good for your soil. They leave tons of compost, they break up the soil really well. If I did buy land, I mean, obviously diversity, but I would incorporate a couple of mulberry trees, I think. Oh, silkworms. What am I thinking? So that's one of the first things that really caught my attention when I saw mulberry was silkworms that eat the leaves and produce silk. It's like they're super silk. I mean, like I've had silkworms off of maple trees, but apparently mulberry trees was what were fed to silkworms during the ancient silk trades and whatnot. So yes, mulberry trees are also good for silk production as well. if you're into that idea. I personally have no idea how much work that would be. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the sheer idea of it. I've looked into it. There is a better way of doing it than just like collecting each individual little string of silk from a silkworm. I think you do it with their cocoons or something after they've used them, but still. Just the idea of that teeny tiny little silk string and trying to make a fabric out of it just makes me laugh. All right, see you in the next one.